I'm going to teach you exactly everything you need to know to get into bed with the woman you want, so pay close attention. I'm referring to the woman you explicitly pick, not the one you settle for. That one who takes up all of your thoughts, the one who always seems to elude you, the one who seems so far beyond your reach. You're going to learn how to get past her defenses, how to get inside her head, and how to lead her to the point where she wants to be taken by you. This is accomplished without pleading, without assuming a false identity, and without putting her on a pedestal. This is not a love lesson. Niccolo Machiavelli understood psychological power better than anybody else. There was nothing romantic about his philosophy. It was brutally effective, practical, and unvarnished. If you can put it into practice, you will stop chasing women and as a result start drawing them in. Not everyone is interested in this stuff. Only men who are committed to taking charge are meant to use it. If that sounds like you, please like, subscribe, and watch through to the conclusion of this video. It will be evident to them that you have changed by the time you are done. Let's get started. Allow me to correct you if you believe that your financial situation or physical looks are the most important factors when it comes to having sex with the woman you desire. You are essentially wrong. Yes, it is advantageous to have a healthy body. Of course, having money can open doors, but these aren't the reasons why a woman would strip off with you. The psychological impression she has of you is the real explanation, which is something far less concrete and something that most men don't even think about. Whether you are handsome is not the question. The important thing to know is whether she thinks of you as a man who can control her feelings. Because a woman can say she is drawn to romantic, sweet, and attentive men, but she will always sleep with the person who confuses, worries, and obsesses her. What causes this to occur? Because rationality does not arouse feminine desire. Emotional dissonance, internal conflict, and the anxiety of not knowing if you are equally invested or if you could vanish completely at any time are what set it off. Men who never get women into bed make this deadly mistake. They try to use rational tools to play an emotional game. They act on the premise that she will ultimately choose to offer herself to them if they are continuously good, present, and treat her like queen. They don't understand that all of those actions are acceptable after you've already had sex with her, not before. You need to create suspense, mystery, difficulty, and uncertainty beforehand. Although Machiavelli did not specifically discuss sex, he did leave a phrase that is incredibly relevant to this situation. The person who shows weakness before the time comes will be annihilated when the time comes. And every time you respond to her messages within a minute, give her a barrage of compliments that she never requested, and treat her like a prize when she has done nothing to deserve your attention. You are showing vulnerability. Listen carefully. If a woman believes she has total power over a man, she will never sleep with him. She may keep him around as a fallback, use him as an emotional tampon, or desire him as a buddy. However, it is the man who brings a tiny bit of mental turmoil into her life that genuinely arouses her. His appearance and disappearance are what happen. The one who makes her feel wanted, but never safe. Whose eyes are full of want, but not desperation. Dinners and flowers are not the first step in getting her to go to bed. Rather, it is how you make her feel when you are around. Before you've even touched her, you've already lost the game if you seem more eager than she is, more available than she is, and more invested than she is. But you have an advantage now that you know this, so don't worry. You won't act like any other guy anymore. You will start to think like Machiavelli, a strategist, and a man who provokes rather than begs from this point on. Throw out everything you've been taught, including the notions that women value honesty, that being open and honest from the beginning is the best course of action, and that you should just be yourself. That's the clear route to rejection, disguised as courteous dismissal, my buddy. To put it plainly, women are attracted to emotional superiority rather than harsh sincerity. What's the most ironic about it? They frequently feel it, they sense it, but they are unable to explain why. Attraction is not democratic in nature. It doesn't give a damn about your moral character or well-meaning goals. Many good men approach women, nervously reveal their whole life story in the first chat, and profess their feelings before any desire has even been sparked. She interprets this as a man who is available without mystery, without tension, and without any genuine options. I'll say it again. She wants a man who controls the narrative, a sensation and an experience, not sincerity. What was Machiavelli's response to that? The outcome is under the control of the perspective. Creating a version of yourself that sparks her imagination is one aspect of managing perception in seduction. Don't lie, but also don't reveal too much about yourself in the first 5 minutes. Make her feel what you feel without using words. Don't tell her. Make her question why you were talking to her in a particular way rather than declaring, "I'm crazy about you," or "I'm very interested." Why don't you look away? Why don't you appear needy? What's stopping you from giving more than she does? That is psychological power, and she is excited by that power. She becomes fixated on things she cannot control rather than what she understands, and that's where you come in. Authenticity without strategy is just awkward. Yet the most common error men make nowadays is thinking that authenticity is always better. A man is not bold if he gives himself up emotionally right away without evaluating the situation, figuring out what woman wants, or verifying any reciprocity. He is gullible. Since Machiavelli recognized a basic fact, he would have been derided by Machiavelli. Power is administered and dosed, not given up. Giving everything away at the start leaves you empty before the game has even started. Do you want to tell her how much you like her? Don't start there. Don't let her know that you've been considering her for months. Don't tell her about your plans for your life. Take the opposing action. Make it clear to her that you are ready to go at any time. Give her the impression that someone else will catch you if she doesn't. Make her want to compete for you based on what you stand for, rather than what you own. A challenge, a mystery, a man who defies easy explanation. Because the person who explains himself weakens himself, and the person who diminishes himself loses value. That is the key. Remember this always. Uncertainty feeds female desire, and the man who controls her emotions is the one who can toy with her silence the best. You can be that man, but only if you start creating obsession with your presence instead of using words to get approval. A woman will never feel compelled to have you if you give her the idea that she can have you at any time. And pay close attention to this. A woman prefers to sleep with a man who appears scarce, rather than one who is readily available. Machiavelli would have fully comprehended this harsh psychological concept, which states that whatever that appears exclusive becomes highly coveted, and that which is abundant loses its value. This is known as scarcity control in politics. It is a combination of rarity bias and the halo effect in psychology. And that is the difference between a man who seduces her and one who says, "It's okay, I understand. You only see me as a friend." Now think about this. Messages, likes, proposals disguised as chivalry, and men who adore her without ever touching her are all directed at her. She is surrounded by all of this every day, and you come doing the same thing. What use does that serve? Where is the difference? Where is the special chance you are meant to symbolize? I'll tell it plain and simple. She won't ever be inspired to win you back if you don't give her the sense that she could lose you. Desire requires attention, a threat, and a possible conclusion that she wants to avoid. and you have to be that possible conclusion. According to Machiavelli, a wise prince does not cede all of his authority. Instead, he manages it such that others constantly want it, but are never able to control it. You are that. A man who is difficult to win. A man who may experience desire, but never devolves into desperation. What is the practical application of this? It's really easy. Don't respond to her right away. Be unavailable at times. Don't be clingy. Never show emotion without first determining how reciprocal she is. Above all, don't be more interested in you than she is, because she begins to feel in control if you appear more dedicated than she is. She also loses desire when she is in charge. If you change her perception, the game is different. When she begins to question whether you are being pursued by other women. When she realizes you don't pay attention all the time. When she looks at you, she can't tell if you want her or if you're ready to walk away. That's power, my friend. That uncertainty, that mental game, that sense that you might be hers but aren't yet, is where desire begins. You are more than just a choice. You are an opportunity. A woman can turn down a choice, but she can't afford to miss out on a priceless opportunity that won't come around again. She won't only want to talk to you if you make her see you that way. Before anyone else does, she will want to touch, feel, and own you. And it occurs at that point. When her passion overrides her reason, that's when she takes the initiative and goes looking for you. And you just watch as she falls into your bed, just where you wanted her to fall, without appealing, begging, chasing, or begging. She may be attracted to a well-defined figure in a high-end vehicle, but there is something that guys don't get. She doesn't say yes to you because of those things. She didn't come to your bed because of them. She doesn't want you because of them. The way you make her feel while she's with you is what really makes her cry on the inside. And I'm not talking about putting her at ease. I'm talking about giving her a sense of helplessness. Her most vulnerable emotional core and wildest aspect are triggered at that point. And the man who skillfully destabilizes her accomplishes this, rather than the one who attempts to impress her. The one that doesn't rush, doesn't over-explain, doesn't try to win people over, and doesn't react like everyone else. The one who slightly perplexes her since he deviates from the formula she is so familiar with. And this is absolutely true, no matter how grim it sounds. Most women are attracted to males who make them feel conflicted about their emotions. It was said without hesitation by Machiavelli, controlling other people's emotions allows one to rule covertly. You don't have to be a millionaire or have a flawless figure. Only the factors that other guys overlook need to be under your control. Gaze, distance, rhythm, tension, and quiet. She asks, "What is it about him?" when you talk to her without having to persuade her. She begins to look for your approval when you don't try to win hers. She starts to wonder if you really like her when you don't believe everything she says. The game starts at that point. She turns into the one who watches, analyzes, and experiences emptiness. Because anything that feels easy loses its taste, and anything that causes emotional holes leads to addiction. That void is your weapon. You force her to think of you while she's checking her phone, conversing with others, or attempting to ignore you if you offer her a little bit of yourself each time you speak to her and then walk away. She can't though, because you only gave her a portion of the medication, and you have to do exactly that. Don't give too much. Don't say everything. Don't always respond. Keep your silences to yourself. Make sure she always has more questions than answers when she comes to see you. She will then start looking for those answers alongside you. Emotional control is that. And the nicest thing is that she will see it as desire rather than manipulation. Confusion, adoration, and sexual tension are the three ingredients that combine to form desire. Flowers, accolades, and continuous demonstrations won't accomplish it. It is accomplished through scene direction and script management, by adding sexual energy to every move without discussing sex. She doesn't want to be aware of your feelings for her. She wants to know that you have the option to take her, but are deciding against it. Still, it kills her on the inside. And she won't just let it happen when she can no longer stand it, when her head has had enough, when her body responds to your words, and before you've even touched her clothes. She'll look for it. She'll set it off. She'll make sure that occurs. And even if that was always the plan, all you can do is watch it happen, as if it never happened. At this point, the game stops being theory. You go from comprehension to execution at this point. Because if you still behave like a weak man in real life, all I have said thus far is for nothing. Talking a lot doesn't cause emotional stress. It is produced by giving her the impression that each moment spent with you could have significance or no significance at all. She's crazy about that. I'm going to give you 3 useful keys so that you can start confusing her and making her fascinated. The first key: look purposefully, but not needily. Don't look at her like you're requesting something when you speak to her. Gaze at her as though you are assessing her, as though she is unable to discern your passion for her, or as though you are merely teasing her. Take breaks. Don't talk too fast. Permit silences as they compel her to reflect. She also starts to visualize as she thinks, and she starts to crave as she imagines. For instance, you look at her and smile a little when she says something. After 3 seconds without saying anything, you say something like, "That's an interesting thing to say. But I'm not sure if you said it to impress or to perplex me." That causes mental conflict, my friend. And a fire begins with friction. The second key: uncertainty in emotions. Don't tell her exactly what you intend to do. "I like you a lot," a man says to a woman. "You have my desire. I've fallen in love." There is nothing more for her to do. She's already triumphant. She also becomes bored when she wins effortlessly. Say something along the lines of, "I like you, but I can't quite figure you out." Instead, "Though I'm not sure if it's a good or harmful thing, there's something about you that appeals to me. For now, I like our conversations. For now, that makes all the difference." You're giving her something and taking it away at the same time. Tension is being created by you. Although he would not have used these precise terms, Machiavelli was fully aware of this. Possessing is not the same as power. Making someone want to own you without knowing if they can is the essence of power. The third key: withdrawal in strategy. Learn to vanish when the time is right. Disappear for a few hours, or perhaps a day, when she is eager, hooked, or actively seeking you out. Are you aware of what's going to occur? She will have an unexplained discomfort. She is going to check her phone. She'll believe she made a mistake. And because desire increases when it is threatened, she will approach rather than retreat. The typical man makes the error of constantly being available, accessible, and present. The opposite is done by the Machiavellian man. Just before the emotional peak, he shows up, lights the flame, and then disappears. She develops an emotional debt as a result of that withdrawal. Obsession is also used to pay off emotional debts. You are a difficult prize to give away. Slowly savoring you is a struggle. You are a tale that can never be fully comprehended. And that's what will make her think of you while she's by herself. To keep you in mind at night. to question whether she's lost you, and to go to whatever lengths to reunite with you. You now know something that 95% of guys will never grasp if you have read this far. It has nothing to do with having money, being attractive, or coming across as the nice guy or the bad boy. Being the man she can't control is the goal. Because a woman isn't genuinely excited by your body or your wealth. Rather, it's what breaks her down on the inside. It's the emotional reaction you elicit from her. And power is that, a force that permeates the atmosphere and is conveyed by pauses, stillness, and uncertainty. There is a power that does not plead, pursue, or bargain. A force that watches, makes decisions, and incites. A force that communicates, "You could have me, but I haven't decided whether you're worthy of that yet," without using words. She will sense it, even if you never say it. She will also doubt all of her preconceived notions about guys when she experiences it. She will examine your absences, silences, and gestures. She will desire you more than she has ever wanted anybody else once she learns she doesn't have you. And that's where you win, buddy. Because discussing sex does not lead to having sex. It is acquired by establishing a mental environment in which she wants to give up, and not out of duty, pressure, or obscene manipulation, but rather out of a deep yearning to feel what you stand for. Remember it. You're not your average person. You are not merely another man attempting to win her over. It is you who realized what others fail to see. A woman offers herself only once her mind has done so. And strategy is necessary to accomplish it. You must be cool. You must take breaks. To avoid reacting like everyone else, you must have the requisite darkness and the clarity to guide each moment, as though you were the story's creator. Since you are, the script is being written by you. Additionally, the actress is just where you determined she would be. What's the best thing, you know? She won't even explain how it occurred. All she will know is that she experienced it and was powerless to stop it. Strategic seduction is what that is. When it comes to desire, that is Machiavelli. Few men have the courage to master that. Do something easy. If this video forced you to step outside of your comfort zone, opened your eyes, or made you realize that no one else teaches this, sign up, because this is only the start. Cheap advice is not what we are discussing here. We discuss power, concerning control, about genuine seduction, concerning how to win the game without the opposing player even realizing you were participating. See you in the upcoming video. And keep this in mind, she might have choices. You could, however, become her obsession, but only if you can enter her head and stay there forever. Till the next occasion.